Sam's Club says it is saying goodbye to traditional checkouts.
Let's get one thing straight. Sam's Club isn't just a warehouse. It's a high-stakes psychological experiment, and you are the test subject. You think that annual membership fee is your key to a secret club of elite savings? In reality, it's a psychological contract. The moment you hand over your credit card for that plastic membership card, or $110 if you fell for the plus upgrade trap, your brain flips a switch. Behavioral economists call this the sunk cost fallacy. Because you've already paid a premium just across the threshold, you feel a desperate subconscious pressure to earn back that upfront investment. You feel like you're losing money every single day you don't shop there. This mental trick forces you to overspend on massive items you don't actually need, all under the guise of justifying the price of the membership itself. You walk through those sliding doors thinking you're a frugal warrior outsmarting the retail system. But Sam's Club is playing a completely different game. From the precise numbering of the concrete aisles to the strategic ventilation systems that pump the scent of hot food directly into your path, everything is engineered to part you from your money. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the multi-billion-dollar warehouse illusion. We aren't just skimming the surface. We are breaking down every hidden trap, corporate loophole, and back-end data trick they use to keep you spending. Once you see the membership trap for what it really is, you'll realize that bulk is often just a fancy word for manipulation. Number 10, the bulk bias scam. Here is the ultimate warehouse fantasy. You spot a box of cereal the size of a microwave or a jar of pickles that looks like it belongs in a commercial cafeteria. Your brain registers the sheer volume of the item and instantly flashes a green light, value. But here is the dirty truth. The bulk bias is a multi-million-dollar math trick. Sam's Club thrives on the fact that most shoppers are entirely too tired, distracted, or mathematically exhausted to calculate real unit prices on the fly. They bank on a single, flawed human assumption. Bigger must equal cheaper. But if you actually pull out your smartphone, open up your calculator app, and break down the cost per ounce, sheet, or gram, the entire house of cards falls apart. Frequently, the standard or family size at your local traditional grocery store, especially when that store runs a standard weekly loyalty markdown, is significantly cheaper per unit than the monolithic box at Sam's. Let's look at a real-world example. If you track a value pack of name-brand Greek yogurt tubs at the warehouse, you'll frequently find it priced at an average of 12% to 15% more per ounce than the standard multi-packs down the street. So what are you actually paying for? You're paying for the illusion of abundance. Worse yet, you are acting as Sam's Club's personal warehouse manager. You are using your own home's limited real estate, pantry space, and electricity to store their massive logistics overflow. And you paid them an annual fee for the privilege of doing so. Number 9, the rotisserie chicken loss leader. We've all done the classic quick trip. You tell yourself you're just going to pop inside the warehouse for 45 seconds to grab that legendary golden brown $4.98 rotisserie chicken. It's arguably the most famous deal in modern retail. It smells incredible, it feeds a whole family, and it costs less than a fast food coffee. It's the ultimate consumer win, right? Wrong. That chicken is a corporate weapon known as a loss leader. Sam's Club intentionally loses money on every single chicken they roast. They lose millions of dollars a year on poultry alone. Why? Because that cheap chicken is a shiny, savory lure designed to hook you by the jaw and drag you deep into the layout of the warehouse. Notice where the rotisserie chickens are located in every single Sam's Club location nationwide? They are never near the front entrance. They are tucked away in the absolute furthest, most unreachable corner of the building. To get your hands on that $5 dinner, the corporate layout forces you to walk an Olympic-sized gauntlet. You have to walk past the flashing rows of $600 4K televisions, the plush $1,200 sectional sofas, the high-end jewelry displays, and the limited-time palettes of designer clothing. They know that by the time you navigate that massive maze and arrive at the back of the store, your logical brain is tired, and your impulse buy resistance is at zero. That $5 chicken is consistently the most expensive bird you will ever purchase because it almost always comes with an accidental $150 side dish of household junk, apparel, and gadgets you had absolutely no intention of buying when you parked your car. Number 8. Members Mark White Label Secrets. The Members Mark house brand is aggressively marketed as the crown jewel of the Sam's Club experience. The signage proudly boasts that these products offer premium, name brand quality for a fraction of the cost. It makes you feel like an insider who discovered a secret backdoor to luxury goods. But if you peer behind the corporate veil of white label manufacturing, you find a much less glamorous reality. Many of these private label items are simply name brand leftovers in B-grade runs. Here is how the supply chain actually works. Major consumer goods corporations, the conglomerates that manufacture the high-end laundry detergents, diapers, and snack foods you recognize, frequently find themselves with massive production runs that don't quite hit the exacting primary standards of their flagship labels. Instead of scrapping the inventory at a total loss, these manufacturers enter into private contracts with warehouse clubs like Sam's. They alter the packaging, tweak the branding, and ship it out under the Members Mark moniker. But it's not just a change of clothes for the exact same product. To hit the rock-bottom price points demanded by Sam's Club corporate buyers, manufacturers will often adjust the underlying formulation of the goods. They might swap out premium oils for cheaper soybean or palm alternatives, introduce a higher ratio of water or chemical fillers to liquid goods, or utilize lower-grade plastics for structural components. The product looks identical on the surface, it's shaped the same way, but the actual performance or lifespan falls just short of the real deal. You think you're outsmarting the market by buying boutique-tier goods at a discount, but you are frequently just buying the engineered budget doppelganger. Number 7. Scan and go data mining. If you ask any die-hard Sam's Club loyalist why they prefer it over competitors, 9 times out of 10 they will give you the exact same answer: the Scan and Go app. It feels like absolute magic. You walk down the aisles, scan the barcodes with your phone's camera, pay instantly inside the app, show a digital QR code to the bouncer at the exit gate, and skip the massive, suffocating checkout lines entirely. It feels like a brilliant gift of modern convenience from a company that genuinely respects your time. But in the cold, hyper-analytical world of big-box retail, we must remember the golden rule of tech. If the service is completely free, you are not the customer, you are the product. The Scan and Go app is not a convenience tool. It is a sophisticated high-tech data mining shovel. While you are casually scanning your bags of chips and paper towels, the app is quietly accessing your mobile device's background sensors to track your exact, real-time movements through the physical store grid. Corporate data systems track exactly which aisles you walk down, where you slow your pace, how many minutes you spend lingering in front of high-margin items like electronics or jewelry, and which sections of the store you bypass completely. This metric is known as dwell time. Sam's Club uses this massive stream of localized data to constantly re-engineer their warehouse layouts. If the app shows that thousands of shoppers are stalling out in a specific dead zone, corporate will immediately place high-pressure impulse items or bright seasonal displays directly in that path for the following week. They aren't trying to get you out of the store faster to save your afternoon. They are studying your physical movements like mice in a maze to learn exactly how to trap you inside the building, longer during your next visit. Number 6. The unit price shell game. To comply with consumer transparency regulations, Sam's Club displays a small unit price in the corner of their large product tags. It's supposed to be the ultimate tool for the savvy consumer, allowing you to see exactly what you are paying per individual measurement. But instead of providing clarity, the warehouse has perfected a strategy called the unit price shell game. Next time you stand in the household paper goods aisle, take a close, analytical look at 3 competing brands of paper towels or toilet paper sitting directly next to one another on the steel racks. Brand A will display its unit price broken down by cost per 100 sheets. Brand B, sitting right beside it, will display its unit price calculated by cost per square foot. Brand C, the store brand, will break its cost down simply by cost per individual roll. This completely scrambles any attempt at an authentic, apples-to-apples comparison for the average consumer standing in the aisle. To truly figure out which package offers the legitimate bargain, you would need to stand there with a notepad, pull up the mathematical conversions for sheet dimensions to total surface area, and spend 10 minutes doing algebra in the middle of a crowded warehouse. This friction is entirely intentional. When human brains encounter this type of calculation fatigue, they immediately shut down the analytical process and default to a primitive heuristic. Grab the biggest box because it looks like the safest bet. You walk away feeling like a shopping genius, while Sam's Club pockets the extra margin hidden inside the confusing metrics. Number 5. The palette mentality. Have you ever stopped to look at the interior design of a Sam's Club? There is no drywall, no decorative trim, no ambient boutique lighting, and absolutely no aesthetic pretense. Everything sits on heavy industrial wooden pallets, stacked 3 stories high under buzzing, sterile industrial lights. It looks raw, unfinished, and deeply functional. You might think this is just a practical choice to make moving freight easier with forklifts. While that's partially true, it also serves an incredibly potent psychological function known as the pallet effect. By keeping the retail environment looking like a chaotic, bare-bones shipping depot, corporate triggers a subconscious bias in your brain. Your mind registers the industrial environment and immediately assumes the overhead here is non-existent, which means these prices must be stripped down to rock-bottom wholesale rates. It completely lowers your financial consumer inhibitions. It creates an atmosphere of a temporary warehouse raid or a treasure hunt. You start throwing items into your cart with the assumption that because it's sitting on raw pine wood in a freezing concrete building, it must be an unbeatable deal. In reality, the markups on many of those middle-aisle household goods, apparel items, and gourmet snacks are equal to, if not higher than, the markups you would find in an upscale, highly styled suburban shopping mall. The warehouse look is a costume. The prices are pure retail. Number 4, the seasonal panic. Sam's Club is an absolute pioneer in the dark art of seasonal creep. They don't just put out holiday inventory early, they put it out so early it feels borderline surreal. You will see massive displays of summer patio furniture hitting the floor in the freezing depths of early February, and you'll find giant rows of glowing Christmas trees taking over the warehouse floor in the sweltering heat of early September. This isn't just bad calendar management. It is a calculated play on a primal human emotion, FOMO, fear of missing out. Because the warehouse relies on a highly fluid, rotation-heavy inventory model, items in the seasonal aisles are tagged as "while supplies last." When you see a massive 8-foot-tall plush holiday character or a high-end outdoor grill set out on a pallet months before the season even begins, your brain experiences a jolt of panic. You know that if you don't buy it right that second, it will likely be gone forever by the time the actual holiday arrives. This artificial urgency completely overrides the logical, budgeting centers of your mind. You end up swipe purchasing a $150 lawn decoration or a luxury camping set in the middle of autumn, completely derailing your monthly financial goals, simply because the store engineered a scenario where waiting felt like losing. Number 3, the gas station gamble. Ask any suburban driver why they pay for a Sam's Club card, and an overwhelming majority will give you one specific justification: the gas lines. The fuel stations located in the warehouse parking lots consistently feature prices that are anywhere from 10 to 30 cents cheaper per gallon compared to the standard corner stations down the highway. On paper, it looks like an open and shut case for major savings. But if you actually factor in the economic concept of opportunity cost, the math starts to look incredibly bleak. Let's look at a typical Saturday morning scenario. To secure that cheaper fuel, you have to pull into a massive, chaotic line of idling vehicles that snakes completely around the perimeter of the parking lot. You sit there for 20 to 25 minutes, burning fuel while idling, just to finally reach the pump and save a grand total of $3.50 on a standard 15-gallon tank fill-up. If you value your limited personal time at less than $9 an hour, then yes, you technically saved money. But for anyone else, you just traded valuable blocks of your life for a handful of loose change. More importantly, that fuel station is a logistical gateway drug. Sam's Club corporate knows that once you have already committed the energy to drive out to their property and wait in their gas line, you are 80% more likely to park the car and just pop inside the main warehouse to grab 1 or 2 items since you're already there. And as we've already established through the loss leader strategy, the moment your feet hit that concrete floor, your wallet belongs to them. Number 2, the Plus membership vortex. The frontline employees at the Sam's Club sign-up desk and register lines are under intense, corporate-mandated pressure to constantly push you into upgrading to the Premium Plus membership. They will throw a barrage of marketing points at you. You get 2% cash back on every qualifying purchase. You get free shipping on online orders. You get early shopping hours. They frame it as an absolute no-brainer, making it sound like they are practically giving you free money just for being a loyal customer. But let's break down the cold, hard math of the Plus membership vortex. The upgrade costs an additional $60 on top of your standard base membership fee. To generate enough 2% cashback returns just to hit the break-even point on that extra $60 investment, you have to physically spend at least $3,000 a year out of pocket on specific qualifying merchandise inside their doors. What happens to the average family once they buy into this upgrade? They fall victim to a powerful psychological feedback loop. Because they want to see that cashback balance climb to justify their premium status, they actively start shifting more of their everyday spending to Sam's Club. They buy things they could have sourced cheaper elsewhere, or they buy larger volumes than their household can consumption manage, all to chase a measly 2% rebate. It is a brilliant corporate trap designed to transform casual shoppers into exclusive, hyper-spending brand dependents. Number 1, the size of the problem. Finally, we arrive at the most subtle, effective, and completely overlooked psychological weapon in the entire Sam's Club arsenal: the shopping cart. And the next time you walk through the entrance lobby and pull a cart from the nesting rows, take a step back and truly look at it. These aren't the standard plastic or wire baskets you find at a local pharmacy or standard grocery outlet. Sam's Club shopping carts are titanic, heavy-duty steel contraptions that are structurally closer to an industrial flatbed or a small SUV. This design choice has absolutely nothing to do with customer comfort or transport safety. Peer-reviewed consumer research consistently demonstrates a startling behavioral truth. The larger the physical shopping cart provided to a consumer, the more that consumer will reflexively purchase. A massive, wide-open, completely empty cart creates a powerful psychological sense of a void or an uncompleted task in the human brain. When you take a standard, normal-sized box of household crackers or a single bottle of vitamins and drop it into the bottom of a Sam's Club cart, the item looks tiny, lonely, and visually pathetic. Your brain registers the visual cue and subconsciously signals, "You haven't actually gone shopping yet. Look how empty your cart is. You are failing to maximize this trip." So you start looking for bulkier items to fill the empty steel wire. You add the 3-pack of industrial disinfectant wipes. You throw in the giant 20-pound sack of white rice. You grab the double pack of oversized cereal boxes. By the time your cart finally looks visually full and satisfying to your eyes, you look down at your receipt at the checkout register and realize you just swiped your card for $412 on items you didn't even know existed when you woke up that morning. Let's be completely real with ourselves. Sam's Club is not a community public service. It is not a consumer advocacy group, and it is certainly not a charity designed to save your family money. It is a hyper-optimized, multi-billion-dollar corporate machine engineered to systematically exploit your deepest consumer instincts, your natural attraction to bulk quantities, and your evolutionary fear of missing out on a deal. The warehouse wins the game the exact second you assume that you are saving money simply because you crossed their threshold with a membership card in your hand. The only way to truly beat the warehouse system and keep your hard-earned money in your bank account is to drop the illusions. You must walk through those doors with an ironclad shopping list, a strict hard stop budget, a running calculator active on your phone, and the absolute psychological willpower to walk directly past the televisions, past the seasonal patio displays, and straight past that enticing $4.98 rotisserie chicken without ever looking back. Now do me a massive favor before you close this video. Smash that like button to help us beat the algorithm, hit that subscribe button to join our growing community of smart spenders, and drop a comment down below to tell us, What is the single most ridiculous, oversized, or completely useless item you have ever bought in bulk at Sam's Club simply because your brain told you it was a good deal? Until next time, keep your eyes locked on the true unit price, keep your shopping carts empty until you find what you actually need, and keep your wallet safe in your pocket.